This is the book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 15. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High have ordained. Shalom, this is the brother Abad. You're back here once again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the men that I learned the truth from. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Let's read that again. The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 15. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High have ordained. You're not supposed to hate laborious work. In the spirit of people calling us flunkies or saying that, we do too many videos, or there's not a requirement to do a lot of videos within the ministry. Well, the ministry is supposed to be a continuous laborious work. All right, it doesn't stop. All right, it's continuous, it's ever flowing. All right, it's a constant movement, because the truth is like water. The truth, it just goes. It's never ending. It's never ending knowledge. It's never ending wisdom. So there's always something you can go into. All right, so within this labor of love of ours, you constantly have to be plowing and working. And it goes into this word husbandry, which when you go into the etymology of the word husbandry, it means to basically be a farmer, all right? Someone that manages the farm, management of a household, all right? But really it goes into the act of farming, taking care of cattle, all right? Taking care of one's land. And what the Lord has called us into, this labor, is likened to a husbandry. We're likened the body, the elect, we're likened as a husbandry. All right, we're farmers. We're tending to the cattle. We're planting seeds in hope that it bring forth good fruit, right? Now, I brought up the word of us plowing, right? Now, of course, brothers should be familiar with the scripture that I'm about to go into about us plowing within this labor, right? Let me get the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 62. It says, And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. So we have put our hand to the plow. We have put our hand to the labor. We have put our hand to work. All right. And when you go into the trade of farming, or if you know anything about farming, it's a very tedious and laborious job. All right. You have to tend to the land. You have to prep the land. You have to nurture the land before you can even plant anything on it. And it takes a multitude of people to tend to a good-sized farm. That's why a lot of people now, in this day and time, they use machinery, all right, to tend to the farms. But back in the ancient days and the older days, you needed a multitude of people to tend to a farm because it's very laborious and it takes a lot of work. Well, dealing with this ministry, it's the same thing. That's why it's called a labor of love. You're laboring. Matter of fact, let me get the word, the etymology of the word labor, because guys got a problem with doing videos, but nigga, you're a laborer. You're supposed to be constantly working or looking for work to do. Now, when you go into the word labor, it means a task, a project, exertion, right? Fatigue, right? Oh, here's a good one. To toil, all right? To toil. So you're toiling, you're working, all right? You're working for the Lord. You have been called into a very important task, and you have to constantly be making sure that you're useful, all right? It's just like if the master of the house, right, and he's hired workers, and he goes out and he sees the workers are, lackadaisical or lukewarm, and he knows harvest time is approaching and shit ain't up to par. Shit is not happening on scheduled timing because people are lackadaisical, within the labor force. He's going to start cutting the people that are dead weight, cutting the people that are not hastening, for the harvest time, right? And he's going to bring in those that are steadily working and steadily desiring to put their best foot forward and working their ass off with the plow, okay? Since I brought up the example of like a master hiring laborers, let me get the parable over here in Matthew chapter 20. And let's start at verse 1. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard." So the Lord is telling us this is what the kingdom of heaven is likened unto. All right. The Most High Yahweh, all right, his son, our Messiah, Yahushua, as the householders, they have hired laborers. They have hired us to tend to the vineyard. Who's the vineyard? The brothers and sisters that are watching, the hopeful elect, all right, the multitude of believers that are watching and waiting for the return of Yahushua. We have to nurture them, all right, feed them, tend to them, all right, because we're in the ministry. We have to teach them and guide them properly. Verse 2, and when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way, So the Lord is not looking for idle men to stand idle. The Lord is looking for men to constantly be working and desiring work. It's just like in the world when you're unemployed, all right? If you just sit on your ass, you ain't gonna get work. If you want a job, you have to go out and look. You have to put action into play. All right? And then you do some interviews, you try your best in the interviews, you put your best foot forward in the interviews, then you get hired. But you want to constantly be doing a good job, all right, and putting your best foot forward when you're laboring on these jobs, so you can maybe able to get a raise, get a promotion, or just keep the job and not be replaced by nobody else. Well, it's the same thing within the Lord's ministry, all right? And like I said, we're also known as shepherds. Shepherds take care of the sheep, but, farmers, they also take care of cattle. And we tend to the Lord's sheep. We tend to the Lord's cattle, right? Just like he told Peter. Let me get that. And where's that at? John chapter 21. Because Peter is the head of the church. So we follow right up under that, right? This is John chapter 21. And let me go to verse... down to verse 17, straight to the point. Because he asked him 3 times. He asked Peter this 3 times. Verse 17, he saith unto him the 3rd time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the 3rd time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, feed my sheep. So you don't just feed the sheep once a week at camp. You have to constantly feed the sheep. That's where these videos come into play. That's what putting your best foot forward comes into play. And if you're lukewarm, the scriptures tell you the Lord will spew you out of his mouth because you're not being useful. All right? You're not useful. So he's going to replace you with somebody that is, whether you've been in the truth for a year or whether you've been in the truth 10 years plus. If you're not useful right now, all right, who gives a damn what you did in the past? What are you doing right now? If you're not continually working, putting your best foot forward, the Lord will get rid of you. If Esau get rid of you, here it is, you done worked at a job 20 years, blood, sweat, and tears, 30 years, blood, sweat, and tears. He get rid of your ass without he don't give you your pension, your 401k, your retirement, nothing, just let you go. Well, how much more the Lord? All right? He desires perfection. Esau is a low-level demon. So, the Lord requires the best. So you have to be trying to put your best foot forward always, because the Lord said even when you put forth all your might to glorify him, you still fall short drastically, right? So as we tend to the Lord's vineyard, as we tend to the Lord's land, the farm, the cattle, everything that He's given in our grasp of us to have leadership on, we want to take hold of that and do it to the best of our ability. Now let's get another scripture touching on the husbandry. Let's go to, let's see where it's at. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3. And let's start at verse, we can start at verse, let's start at verse 6. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Well, let's start at verse 5. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 5. Who then is Paul, and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believed, even as the Lord gave to every man? I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua gave the increase. So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua giveth the increase. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So Paul is saying, one that planteth and one that watereth are one, and every man shall receive according to his labor, the reward according to his labor. So if you know the Lord is coming back to reward people, all right, and ain't no telling what He has in store, all right, then why shouldn't you be trying your best to get as much as you possibly can? The scriptures speak about storing your riches in heaven, so you should be constantly working to store your riches so you can get an abundance when the Lord comes back, right? And, you know, when Paul is talking about Apollos, Apollos was also a worker in the ministry, all right? He was a believer. He was a worker in the ministry. He was doing the work, all right? That's why Paul said that I planted, but Apollo watered, but Yahweh shall give it the increase, right? So they were working. Paul and Apollos were both laborers. So let's read this verse again in verse 8. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 8. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. For we are laborers together with Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Ye are Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua's husbandry. Ye are Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua's building. All right? So we're the Lord's husbandry. We're the Most High's building. We're that temple. We're those farmers. We're those planters. All right? And we're out here working. We're laboring day in and day out. So you want to be making sure that you put your best foot forward. Because if you don't, the Lord will get rid of you. Right? So, like the scriptures say, the Lord, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. I might as well just get it since I keep bringing it up. Since the lesson is dealing with working. This is Revelation chapter 3. And let's start at verse, 15? Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou were cold or hot. So the Most High wants you to pick a side. If you're going to be a nigga, be a nigga. If you're going to be lazy, slothful, be that. But don't try to straddle the fence. And if you're going to be hot, then be hot for me. Be on fire. Verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. The Lord wants the best. He wants the best of the best. He wants his all-star team. He wants his Olympian team. All right? Everybody, hey, just because you're Israelite, cool. You're Israelite, you're going to be in the kingdom, but you ain't the elite of the elite. You're not the elect. Those are those that have sacrificed their lives, have put their all into the ministry, and have worked to strive to be better for them and their power each and every day of their life. Now let's get Colossians chapter 3, and let's read let's go down to verse 23. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, and it reads, And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. And when you go into that word heartily, right, whatsoever you do, do it heartily. It means basically with all your might, right? Because the Strong's definition goes into vehemently, all right, exceedingly, all right. So basically, to do something with all your might, right? Verse 24, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Yahweh Hamashiach. So you serve the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. So you know you're going to get a reward. So serve Him with all your might, you know. So I wanted to touch on that word husbandry and how it applies to the ministry, how it applies to the labor of love that we're in. I hope it was edifying. Until the next time I say, Shalom.